20th of April 2017, Unit 8 pitch, Tamid Rahman.
Okay, so this is my pitch for my radio production. Okay, so firstly, if I just start off with the justification part, first I want to start is, obviously I'm doing radio production. The reason why I'm doing radio production, obviously to justify it, is because I wanted to better myself at it and basically gain more knowledge at it, which I was hoping, only because before in the past I've done this project, but I wanted to do it because I know I would have enjoyed it, but before it's because I didn't have enough knowledge. That's why I knew that it wasn't as good as I'd expect it to be. So this time I'm hoping that it'll be better. So my radio production is on grime. The reason that it's on grime is because me personally, I like everything about grime. Like I listen to grime music, like even grime linked like movies and stuff like that. For example, like there's movies like Kidulthood, Adulthood, movies like that are linked with grime, and it's just like a influence as I was growing up. Like obviously, yeah, that's just me.
So hobby.
Yeah. The practical skills, like that I like to justify, is like editing. Obviously in radio production, it was very practical for me because there was a lot of like speaking and a lot of stuff to find out. So yeah. Okay, the format. The radio pathway.
So you're going down the radio pathway, yeah?
Yeah. Basically, that's what I'm hoping to do, to go down the radio pathway, because obviously that's what I plan on doing in the future. Music-based program is like, how do I say it? So like, you know, the music-based program, it basically tells the audience everything about music and what type of music. Like there's programs that introduce music, but it all has different genres that you can listen to. So yeah, the genre is grime, obviously, and it's suitable for Radio 1 Extra, because I went on Radio 1 Extra yesterday, and I saw like what times like come on, especially for that genre, and obviously it's about 2 hours, so that's the time I'm hoping to make my radio show. So yeah, timing again, I'm planning to do 2 hours, because before in the past, obviously it was group work that I was doing, and we only done 1 hour, but the only thing is, in the past when I done it, I didn't quite make it 1 hour, it was still less than that, so it didn't go as well as I planned it. So the scheduling is like, the timings basically is like 7 to 9 o'clock, which I also checked on Radio 1 Extra. Obviously, where I could fit my radio production in between. So like, say for example, there could be the evening show, and then there could be my show for 2 hours, and then I could basically promote the next show after that. For example, it could be the night show or whatever's going on after that. Okay, the content. Obviously, for this unit, I want to produce a grime genre radio production. That's what I want to do. And to do that, obviously it's not only going to be just my radio show, just me talking about grime and whatnot. It's also going to be me promoting other companies, putting in adverts, putting in like loads of tunes, basically to keep my audiences interested, basically just keep them listening. So like, obviously if you hear a radio show, they're not just going to keep talking about this and that just on one subject. They're going to have a break, they're going to have loads of different activities, basically what they can do in the time. So, and also like in grime, anyone that listens to grime, they would know the popular kind of music. For example, like Drake, Drake, he's a famous grime artist, so is Giggs, and obviously they made a song together, and obviously the audiences would know that what songs are popular, so obviously they'd want to listen to it too. And yeah, also have the news, basically, because obviously it's near enough night time, have the news and the weather forecast like inside my radio show, so then it's not just on grime, whatever my radio is, it's also mixed a bit, yeah. Also, obviously, even though I'm talking about grime, I'd also want to tell my audience like how it impacts on people. Like, if you see grime music songs, they've got like violent. They're using like violent language, not violent language, inappropriate language. Basically, stuff that is not to be seen by underage kids, because obviously no one would want them to see, because like kids get influenced quick for that. Also to include like talking about certain grime artists, so like what I mean by that is how did they become them artists? Like what did they do to step up their game and be where they wanted to be? So like talk about for example, I was hoping to talk about Drake. I was hoping to talk about Drake, what he's done like while he was young and how he grew out of it. Okay, initial research. So my initial research has been useful because obviously I'm producing a radio on grime. There was loads to research on. So like I researched into the songs, I researched into the radio production, what timings, like what kind of people that are into basically grime productions, not grime production, like in that area, and also like people's opinions. So I got people like, it's basically like Vox Box, like getting people's opinions on what they think about grime, and yeah, just what they think about grime. That's the research that I've got on me now. Okay, my inspirations are to be like Charlie Sloth, because if you see Find the Booth, he's the main person. Obviously, he's the main person that gets all these not rappers, like grime artists in the booth, and then he gets them rapping. So it makes him look good, and obviously he's popular in like the grime area because everyone knows him. He's also popular because obviously loads of artists come to him, and also he's entertaining because obviously when he's got like artists in the booth, he's always entertaining them, making them laugh. He's also making the audience laugh in other ways. He's also obviously a comedian because of basically what he does. He just makes people laugh. Okay, my target audience. So for primary target audience, I would say like over 16-year-olds basically. So from what I've researched, like for example, if I use the BBFC, obviously that's classification for movies, but also use that to what is allowed to be seen by what age. So like even though it's so the BBFC, it says basically like what you can add in a, say for example 18 rating movie, and what you can't use. So like violent, inappropriate language, stuff like that. It can't be seen by a certain age. So yeah, because of like swearing and inappropriate language, that basically separates it, because even me, I think that only over 18-year-olds can watch, like for example, grime music and listen to it. So this is my mood board. This is what it basically looks like. So like, this is what grime looks like basically. So it's like groups, and it's always, that's the atmosphere, how it is. Obviously that's Charlie Sloth and Stormzy, and that's Radio 1 Extra. That's where I'm planning to find out more about that. Obviously I would need a mic, because I would also need a booth to do my production in. Yeah. So the resources. So for radio production, you don't really need that many people. You just need either yourself. For example, Charlie Sloth, he's not talking with anyone else. He just brings people in to his booth, and he just lets them go on with what they're rapping, and he just basically makes it entertaining. So what I was hoping is, even though I'm making a radio production on grime, I was hoping to get a guest in, so one of my friends could join, and then I could be talking to them. Like as a guest, I could be talking to them about grime and what they think, and basically ask them questions. And obviously the location would be inside the college in the booth. I'll have to make sure that my script is with me when I'm producing, because although I'm not being recorded by camera, obviously my voice is going to be recorded. So by challenging, obviously I would want to challenge myself, knowing it off by heart, so then I just go in there and just speak freely. But the thing with me is I'm a bit nervous on that, that's why I think it would be better if I keep my script on me. Yeah. So this is like a short schedule.
You can skip past that because we'll go through that in detail.
Okay. This is the technical and production issues. For example, if in the booth in this college, obviously there's a Mac that records, and for example, if the Mac wasn't working, then I'd have to organize a Zoom. So if the Mac isn't working to record my voice, I'd need a Zoom to obviously record my voice. If in the booth the mic isn't working, like the same, I'd need a Zoom again. Yeah. If I can't organize a Zoom, for example, or there's nowhere to get a Zoom, then worst case I'd have to use a mobile phone to record my voice and upload it. I'll have to have all the backup for. I'll have to have backup for all the equipment that is used. So for example, if I'm using a mic, and just in case if it's not working, I need to have another mic. Basically, all the equipment that is going to be used, I need a backup plan for it. Yeah, my only fear for equipment not to be working is either the mics or recording from the mic, because obviously they are the usual common things to happen in these situations. If something goes wrong while reading out the script, for example, if I start, then I wouldn't just stop and pause it. Obviously, because it's my radio production, I'd just carry it on, or maybe laugh it off to keep it going. For example, if the booth isn't free on the day, then I'd need to do my radio free on the day. I need to do my radio another option would be to get a Zoom and produce it in a quiet room, basically. Yeah, that's done. Any questions?
Okay, Tamid. Now, I completely understand why you have chose radio, okay, because it's the project that you enjoyed most. It's linked to your long-term aspirations, okay? But what you've got to remember is that this is your final major project, okay? So it has to be something that challenges yourself. This isn't a rerun of radio production, okay? So this isn't another opportunity to make the exact same show that you already made, okay? So my biggest concern is that you've picked something that's quite closely linked to something that you've already done, okay? So you've got to have a show, although it's longer, okay, it needs to be very different to the show that you've already created, okay? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, if you're saying that your brief is Radio 1 Extra, everything you do must evoke Radio 1 Extra, okay? So all of the jingles or idents you make for the show, although will be your own, will be reflective of One Extra. So they'll say One Extra, they'll say the correct DAB freeway, they'll sound like they are something that would be on One Extra. Yeah? Now, you said, oh, we'll talk about the influence of grime. You've already done that in your last show. Yeah, you need to think of fresh ideas. This, as I said, this isn't a rerun.
Yeah.
All right? So I want more clarification about what actually the content of your show is, because I feel like it's just an echo of something you've already done. All right? You said, oh, well, I'll do this thing about how Drake got into music. What genre is Drake?
Grime.
Is he?
From what I know.
Drake is a grime artist. Really? I would have put Drake as a rap.
Rap.
Yeah, he's a hip hop artist, no?
From
From my understanding, is grime not, correct me if I'm wrong, but is grime not a British
Yeah.
genre?
Yeah.
So has Drake worked the undergrounds of London?
No.
No. So a segment about Drake in a grime show for me doesn't work. Yeah?
Okay.
Grime to me is somebody that you could go down to Luton, yeah, and find somebody who writes their own, spits their own bars or whatever, likes grime, is trying to become a grime artist, may have made a video that his mates recorded or whatever. That's how people like Stormzy, Kano started, right?
Yeah.
They're grime artists. I would suggest Drake doesn't fit under that barrier. So if you're telling me it's a grime show, it's got to be a grime show.
Okay.
Okay? Because when you said, oh, I'll have a guest in to talk about the influence of grime, yes, you've already done that, but what the other point would be is the guest needs to be purposeful. So the guest can't just be, you know, like it'd be like having someone like me in there who doesn't know anything really in detail about grime.
Yeah,
I'm not going to add anything to the show. It needs to be somebody who,
Someone suitable for it.
yeah, maybe someone who's trying to be a grime star, or maybe somebody who is a producer, or you know, anything that actually has a strong link. People that would want to listen to their opinion. Otherwise, there's no point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm more than happy for you to go down radio. I'm more than happy for you to make a 2-hour grime show, but it must be different from what you've already done. So you really, really need to go away and think about what's going to make up your show. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah? One last thing. BBFC, as you rightly said, do the certificate ratings for films.
Yeah.
Who controls what goes on the radio? What are they called? They're Raja, okay? I don't want to hear you talking about BBFC when you're doing a radio pitch, okay? Raja is who is associated with radio, and they help determine radio audience figures, yeah? And Ofcom, people that people complain to, all right? Let's not talk about BBFC,
Okay.
okay? Right, so go away, think about the content of your music-based programme, okay? And then from there, then obviously start contacting to people to contribute on the show. And then obviously you need to live, breathe, sleep One Extra, because your show needs to be suitable for that platform. Okay?